background, this was in the gallery. In the background, you see the posters sponsored by DAD and the Austrian Cultural. As I said, these videos are all on YouTube. However, one thing one has to be careful on YouTube. What I had to skip is sometimes because if we have to emphasize or tell the students not to use any music, it has to be free of copyright because YouTube is blocking any image and any music we are using and having in the video, and then we cannot present it at YouTube. So we have to be careful and tell the student groups what they are allowed to use in their product and not. Privately, fine, but if you want to publish it, it creates problems and then it gets blocked. Okay, now revert to Nemanja.
Should we just show the show or
Yeah, well, maybe you first explain a little bit how, and then
is it a little bit yesterday? But okay,
and then few instructions of
okay, okay. So we already talked yesterday about the theater show we made in Benelux. I will not repeat. Mostly, I will not repeat myself from the yesterday in the Duško. But the thing is, everything was in the process. When we started the project, Andreana found like kids that they were interested in actually doing some theatrical show, and it was a hard time because it was like really pandemic situation was awful in that time, so we couldn't meet in person.
I'm sorry, can you please just pause the video so we can watch it from the beginning?
Oh, it's not going to be presented. Like you can.
if this is a background now, you can.
Yeah, but if
Yeah.
you watch it all over again, you can make it.
You have the YouTube link, so you can.
Not see it, right?
No. There is not enough time. But the thing is, Andrea selected each of the kids in actually doing some scientific work and to make some beautiful theatrical performance with Duško. So the first thing was actually to select the kids, and then we had kind of audition to just to meet those kids, to know what they, to meet them through their presentation. Like that was a very important part for Duško, so he can select and give the parts and roles to all of the kids. And the thing is, at the very beginning, I gave a lecture about, because we decided we are going to talk about solar system. I gave a lecture about the beginning, the evolution of, and the end of the solar system. And they all got their tasks. They got their planet. They had to do some investigation, find out everything they can find about that planet, and to present us. So firstly, they came with like, I don't know, 15 pages long description about the planet and how the process was like, how was time was going. They were like taking out the most important things, and they wrote poems about from those scientific facts, and that was amazing. So we decided it's going to be a performance with music, poems, and movement. So I will not talk you a bit more about it today because we can always discuss during the coffee breaks, and I know I'm just before the coffee break, so I should be.
Well, I mean, we have another 15 minutes, so you still have, let's say, seven minutes to emphasize more
Okay.
and show some. Important is, I mean, what I think the audience wants to know is how you connected what was the connection to the school, to the children, to the artistic director, and how.
Okay. It wasn't that easy, especially in the beginning, because we had to do everything over Zoom. And that's hell. Really hell. I hate Zoom. I really hate it now. But thankfully we had it like during when we needed. So we had a lot of discussions over the Zoom, not in person, and that was really challenging for us to go further and further into the project. And Andriana was actually the one that organized, coordinated everything, because we had almost 20 kids involved in the project. Almost 20 because some of them dropped after a couple of months, we replaced them, but around 20. So it was difficult to organize all of them to be available in the given time. That was a challenge, really. And then we have Dushko who had like a lot of responsibility in the theater and me on the university with classes and everything. So it was really difficult to be in the same room in the same time. So that was a challenging stuff, but I really admire Adriana and her capabilities to organize. She's a great organizer. So, like,
Thank you.
yeah, she really deserves not just that. When we decide at the end, the meeting, final meeting is going to be in Banja Luka, kind of Sarajevo, but in person. She was able to find extra fundings for the show. So really amazing job by Adriana. And her also scientific input because she's a physics teacher and doing her master's in astrophysics. Her scientific input was really wonderful. So she was like doing several tasks and doing it.
Thank you.
You deserve it. Then we discussed, Dushko, Andriana and I discussed a lot how we are going to actually work with kids. And Dushko has some experience in teaching, working with the young people. He has some drama classes for the kids, so he has some experience in that, and not just in acting and directing. So that was a really valuable asset that we have from Dushko. So we decided to give them freedom. Of course, there are rules of the game. You know, like every game, we have rules. But we gave them freedom, and we didn't push, like push them hard. You know, just let them. And that was going fine until one point. It became chaotic at some point. So we had like to like put like strict rules in some point of the process, and that's really nicely explained in our diary. I think it's also available somewhere. So you can read like all the process, like from the very first rehearsal to the last one, and to the our actually presentation. So thing is, was we want to do the movement theater with the lightning, and that was also challenging. We had talented kids that they were actually doing these special effects with the LED lights, and they programmed everything in all these colors, everything they created by themselves. So we had another talented girl who did costumes, like design of the costumes. Then we, Andrea found the money to actually have the costumes for the show. So there were a lot of steps like in our production, and it was really difficult. In some parts, we will kind of okay, are we going to be okay? We have a show, but all the things that we actually think of how to make it, how it's going to look, it becomes very difficult at some point because of the like, let's say funding, that's
Yeah.
kind of issue.
What Nemanja explained now is somehow one of the best practice examples of how this dynamic works. First of all, scientist, Adriana, educator, Dushko, art. So they collaborated and they managed to work in a very coherent way. And another aspect he explained is how to leave, how the team of these three high pillars somehow left the freedom of the expression progression and the development of the students. So how they not just put them in a box and you have to do this, you have to do this. They fostered their talents and supported them. So and in the end, of course, you create chaos, as you said.
Yeah,
But
there was.
it's about too much creativity. Then you have to get to funnel back to something to make a final product as a team.
Yeah, and I don't know. I would like just show the like the maybe the last scene or
Here's the movie.
something. Mercury. Okay. Jupiter. Prima. Oh, like that. Just. Oh, okay. No, it is like this. So we have a Jupiter showing up. We had a sun creation of the sun at the beginning. You saw the lights last night, yesterday. And we had a creation of the sun in the solar system, and we have a Jupiter. We choose Jupiter to be the first one because it's almost the sun. Yeah, it didn't have enough mass, but it could become a sun. So it was interesting to dramatically to put it first. And we built the characters according to the physical information we had about the planets, and also using